Great to have you with us. We'd like to welcome on right now for a great time, I think, of conversation, and it's turned into conversation because the backing tracks, unfortunately, that worked the other day during soundtrack, we don't know why they're not working now, so we'll probably have to take a rain check on those. But we're getting set and ready to have a good conversation anyway with someone who has also become a great radio friend of mine. I looked at this guy as well as kind of like a consultant, if you will, on the Christian Media Spotlight Radio Network because we talk back and forth, and if I have a technical issue that I've run into and it's like, help, what do we talk to each other because we run the same radio software engines, so we can kind of troubleshoot and go, hey, how's that work for you? How's that work for you? Try this. And so we kind of we keep each other going on our toes, and we're a great support of each other. And you hear the Just Got Music Hour. Our radio network is one of the places you can hear it, along with his radio network, which is a great listen as well. Those listen to the greatest music in all of creation as it's billed. That's what they feature, and the artists that they feature on there on Notespire Radio, Notespire Music as well. He is a musician as well, a man of many trades. Please welcome from the York, Pennsylvania area, please welcome the one and only Paul Gibbs. Paul, good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Joe. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Well, except for the background tracks, we're doing great. We're doing great. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Well,
there are things that even I can't figure out, but I
yeah,
will tell you, I will figure it out in the next couple days. There will be an answer. God will show me what.
there will be
But
an answer,
yeah, there
and
will be an answer.
there will be an answer. There will be a rain check at some point in time, and even if we have
Sooner
to
or
get
later,
you
I'm
on
gonna.
our right to do it, we'll figure it out. So,
That's right. That's right.
well, let's just use this time to chat here for a few minutes. Then,
Yeah.
here, tell us about, for those that are unfamiliar, spend a few minutes talking about all things Notespire, whether it be
Okay.
Notespire Music, Notespire Radio. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do over there as another quality resource like Red Sherman. Tell us about what you do for artists and for listeners out there.
Well, Notespire Music was formed about 5 years ago by Nate Miller and myself, and our goal is to basically, and this is not our tagline, but it's a good description. It's just to help Christian musicians do what they're called to do. So we have a recording studio that I'm sitting in right now. We've helped artists get going. We've helped a lot of artists do their very first recording, which is really rewarding. We've also helped established artists do music, record albums, record music videos. We can do sometimes lyric videos or music videos. We have done those. We try to and whatever else, promotion, things like that. We try to fill the gap between what an artist can do on their own, maybe with a phone, whatever. And we can do some pretty darn good things with a cell phone these days as far as video and recording and stuff. But we try to fill the gap between that on one end and the thousands and thousands of dollars that you're going to have to spend to go to a professional big name studio and have a complete album or demo or EP or whatever done. So and the same thing with video. We're trying to fill that gap between what somebody can do on their own and what they might have to pay big bucks for, and eventually they may do that, but we're trying to fill that gap between those. So that's what Notespire Music is all about. As part of Notespire Music, again, about 5 years ago, we started a radio station that's online at notespiremusic.com and also notespireradio.com. Like your station, Joe, it's 24/7. We focus on independent Christian artists and their music. 75% of the programming is new music. The rest of it is devotionals by the bigger names, so to speak, like Charles Stanley, etc., etc., and also just people that are just beginning and just starting devotionals and wanted to do just something for a minute or two. We've got people that have never done that before, and we're giving them that opportunity. So Notespire Radio is heard again at our website, notespiremusic.com, and also on the mobile apps like Live 365. And let's see. So those things are going on. I guess if I've forgotten anything, folks, please go to notespiremusic.com. Find out all about us there. We have a couple of podcasts that we do. Of course, the Just Got Music Hour, Joe, as you mentioned, is once a week. It's a 1-hour show that goes out. It's on all the major podcast sites as well as our station and like 16 other stations, including yours, Joe. And let's see, what else? So we do interviews. If any artists, if you guys are out there, you want an interview, you'd like to be on our interview program, we call it the Artist Insight. We'd love to have you on there. And I'll say our email right now is info@notespiremusic.com. You don't have to remember that. Just go to the website. You can find out about that. Can I also talk a little about my own music, even though the background tracks don't always work?
Yeah, that was actually my good segue there, Paul. Yeah, I was going to ask you about your own music now. You are a talented musician. In fact, you just had a song come out just this past week. I imagine you're putting out releases too that are very talented, some of which we featured on our program as well and our station. So you're a very talented musician. You've done a lot of great covers over the years as well, of some great hymns and some great covers. Tell us about some of your music and what drives you as a musician.
Well, I am first and foremost a musician. Ever since junior high school back in the late 60s, early 70s. Played secular music up until the 90s and then switched over and been doing Christian music ever since. But yeah, my thing is like some covers, some originals, whatever God, puts on my heart to do is what I will do. I've got 10 or 12 albums online. If anybody wants to search Paul Gibbs Music online, you'll find my music out there. That's probably my first love. When I get a chance to go out and do concerts at churches or wherever else, I certainly do that. My website is paulgibbsmusic.com, paulgibbsmusic.com. And the song you were talking about, Joe, that was like, wow. It's called Glory. Friends, please go to the YouTube channel, Paul Gibbs Music on YouTube, and please watch that video for the song Glory. It's a special Easter song talking about our Savior, His resurrection, and the glory that is due Him. All right, check that out. A lot of music videos on there. So I get to use my gifts in serving other musicians, but I also, the Lord every once in a while gives me a chance to shine, if you will, but not really shine. I'll say reflect Him, reflect His light. Okay, let's put it that way. Yeah.
So, what would you say your favorite cover song? Do you have a favorite cover song over the years that you have done? Do you have a particular favorite
that I've recorded?
Yeah, that you've recorded.
Probably one of my favorites. The first one that comes to mind is the Josh Groban song "You Raise Me Up."
Ooh, okay.
That one's online. If anybody you want to search that out, go search "You Raise Me Up," Paul Gibbs. It's a duet with my daughter Jessica. And
now that I want to segue into real quick if we could too. Jessica actually has to do the name of it with Jessica. Your daughter. Do you want to go into the name of how Jessica Music Hour was created?
My ministry, back in the 90s when I started music ministry, I called it Serenity Ministries. And then I quickly realized, this is before a lot of online stuff, but as the internet got more and more, and we're all getting online, I realized how many other things are called Serenity. So then I changed it, and I heard of somebody else that used their kids' names for something or other. I don't remember what, but I thought Jessica and Scott. Jess Scott. So I called my ministry Jess Scott Music Ministries. And then when I started the radio show, which I started back in '96, I think it was, and it was on a couple radio stations back then. So I called it the Jess Scott Music Hour for with Jess Scott Ministries. So fast forward to not too many years ago, I decided to go with Paul Gibbs music for my ministry, but I could not let go of the name Jess Scott. So it has been and always will be the Jess Scott
It,
Music Hour, and
it,
it's after
it
my
lives
kids,
on.
Jess and
I
Scott.
love it.
Yeah.
Like a number of our programs we air on our station. I know you air on our station Thursdays at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. We're also in the process, I think, of your show, and then the Aussie show. We're adding a second time slot as well for viewers and listeners to catch it. So we're in the process of adding that right now.
Great, awesome.
Also, tell us now. I think you're coming to us from it right now. The place I believe where you record a lot of your music, radio station possibly comes out of there. Tell us about
Yep.
your studio that you
I'm
do all this
sitting
stuff
in
out of.
I'm sitting in the basement of the home that my wife Brenda and I have here in York, Pennsylvania. I'm actually from upstate New York and still have a house up in Glens Falls, New York, if anybody knows where that is. But my wife Brenda and I live here in York, and I'm sitting in the basement right now. And this is the studio. Gee, I wonder if I can do this. What if I can? Can I do this? Okay, there's
Yeah.
a little bit of the stuff here, and here is the computer and stuff. Okay, all right. That's all. I'm
Is
not
that
gonna
where
try to.
you record all of the goodness for the podcast and the
Every
radio and all of that?
everything is right here. Let me see if I can show you the video backdrop there a little bit there, kind of. You can see that a little bit where we shoot videos and things like that here. Um, I'm sitting right at the console where all the recording is done, and the things and the playing is all the performing is all done right here in this room. The radio station, however, is up in my office, which is one of the bedrooms in the house, running on a computer up there. I have it up there because I like to have it there during the daytime so I can do some quick adjustments if needed. Yeah, so it's all right here, Joe.
Well, that's where all the goodness of Notespire music and Paul Gibbs.
It's
That's where it all happens, right
all
there. And
all happens
you
right
have
here.
also a partner in Notespire that helps make this happen as well, correct?
Yes, Nate Miller. I met Nate Miller about 7 years ago, maybe 8 now. I'm not sure. Nate is also a musician. He's from the York, Pennsylvania area, and he and his wife Valerie live here in the York area. He has been worship leader at several churches over the years, singer and songwriter in his own right. Does a great job. So he and I put our heads together and put our talents together, and I think it's been again it's about 5 years now, and we formed Notespire Music. Yeah,
Three more questions for you tonight, good sir. Number one, do you have a favorite song that you personally have ever written?
that I have written. Boy, um, well, that one that I'll tell you, Glory that I just did, that really is up there. You folks got to listen to that. Uh, Boy, let's see. Going back. I don't know. I'd have to sift through all the songs, Joe, to get a.
I
Uh,
do love your new song. That's fantastic, sir. I do. Congratulations on the great new song. It kind of leads into the second question.
sure.
What is your particular formula? Now, there's a number of different formulas. They've had a lot of people give advice on what works for songwriters and things like
hmm
that. What is your particular formula for when you sit down to write a song?
Yeah.
What
Some
you
people
get a
some people say
blank slate? You start with the music. You start with the lyrics. How does it
yeah
work
that
for you?
Good question. Good question. And I ask people that when I'm interviewing them as well. And now I get to answer the question. That's good. I would say that words typically are first for me. Not always, but typically it's the words. If I'm writing the whole song, it will be a thought. It'll be a one line, maybe a sentence, like a tagline or a hook. Will start it, or just a kind of a thought, a theme, if you will, and then get some words down and then put them to music. Now I have done a lot of collaborating with other artists. Ted Brennan is a retired pastor, and he's not a musician, but he's written a lot of poetry. He's written words that songs that I have put to music. So in that case, the collaboration is a wonderful thing too. Ted did help a little bit with the words on Glory, by the way. Yeah. If that answers your question, Joe. Yeah.
It does.
What's the third question?
And the last question for you: what is next for Paul Gibbs and Notespire? What is either next for you musically, or next for Notespire and the company and the station? What is next for you here in the next few months that we can look forward to?
Well, for me personally, I've already got another song to release in about a month. It is called "All You Need Is a Song." And this is going to be a collaboration. Ooh. Again, Ted Brennan wrote the words. He wrote it as just a poem. He did not have any thought of it becoming a song. But once I read the poem, the music came, boom, just like that. So that's a new song for me. I just keep releasing the songs as God gives them to me. For Notespire, we're kind of in a transition period right now. So we've got like a podcast that we were doing called The Artist Impact that Nate and I were doing once every couple of weeks. That has kind of slowed to a crawl. We're going to be probably getting rid of that podcast and hoping to start a new podcast. We're not sure what it's going to be called, but we need to get something fresh out there. So
it's going to be retooled. It's going to be retooled, sort of.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. We'll keep doing the interviews. In fact, I want to encourage any artists that are listening, please get a hold of us. We'd love to put you do an interview with you, put you on the radio. And then we hope to expand our video, just basic video services for artists, where people can do music videos. Or
we have some.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, we have some viewer comments here in just a second that we're gonna get to here on the program. So we're here with Phil Gibbs. We're talking about all things Notespire now. But before I get to the viewer comments and questions here for just a second, you also have, I believe, something. Is it relatively new that you've been doing? It's kind of like a new music hour, sort of.
Oh, I was gonna talk about that, Joe. Let me rename this camera. I was gonna talk about that. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. We just started a show on Notespire Radio called the New Additions Hour. Not additions, additions, because newly added. So it's songs that from new artists just coming on the scene. It's new music from existing artists. And so that's a 1-hour show that I host 3 times a week on Notespire Radio. It's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I want to encourage anyone that's got music to new music, please get in touch with us. info@notespiremusic.com. Yeah.
info@notespiremusic.com. Now, I also wanted to get to some viewer comments. TJ, who we graciously thank for hosting here the first part of the show.
Yeah, thanks, TJ.
He wanted to know if that was a ukulele he saw on your wall.
A ukulele on the wall? No.
No, that was Phil.
That was Phil.
Right.
Oh, that was Phil. Never mind. Okay, but TJ did say though, Paul, that he loved, and he was talking about this last night on our after party. He said that your version of "Oh Lord, You're Beautiful," the Keith Green classic, was very well done.
Thank you very much. And my wife, I'll pass that to my wife Brenda, because that was a request by Brenda, for us to record that. She was helping me sing on that one.
Oh, what?
Yeah. She's on quite a few of
Oh,
my
darn.
songs lately. Yeah, Brenda has a good voice.
Yeah.
You won't see her up on the platform, but you will hear her in the studio. So
I
thank
did
you.
notice that. Yes, indeed.
Thank you very much.
Um,
Yes.
yes, he was telling us about that last night. How just amazing that cover was. It was very faithful to the original. He can be. It's one of the better Keith Green covers that I think he said he's heard, especially of that song. So he
Thank
thought
you
you
very
nailed it
much.
very well.
Praise God. Praise God.
Great to have Paul Gibbs here with us. Of course, info@notespiremusic.com is where we can get in touch with you, correct? As
Yep,
far
that
as
is it.
sending music. Of
Yep,
course,
yep.
notespiremusic.com, notespireradio.com. Where can we find your personal music as well?
Just getting my website back up and running at paulgibbsmusic.com. Please do check that out, and check out my YouTube channel, again, Paul Gibbs Music on YouTube. Yep.
Fantastic. Well, we thank you for everything that you're doing in service for the kingdom. We thank you for helping. It's kind of similar mission as us here
Yep.
on Red Room and CMS, helping independent artists be able to just get a platform. Because I say all the time, sometimes there's
Yeah.
there's the top tier platforms like your K-Loves, your Air Ones, and that very few artists kind of get to that echelon. And there's a lot of coffee houses that you can play and things like that on a local
Right.
level. But there needs to be more of a mid-tier, mid-range, for those artists that want to be heard, a platform for them to be heard. I know we strive to do that. So does Red's Room. You guys at Notespire Music do a great job as well of featuring those independent artists and featuring, to borrow your slogan again, the greatest music in all of creation. You guys search for that and feature that and give artists a chance to be heard and a platform to be heard. So thank you for your service and just helping artists along the way refine their craft, helping them refine just the audio and the video and the technical pieces of it and the publicity and getting their music out there in a spot where it can be heard. Thank
Yep.
you, Paul. And as a performer, as a musician as well, thank you for the dedication to your craft and your great music that you do as well. Like the songs we just talked about, they've gotten some great response. Thank you just for everything you do in your years of service to the kingdom. It's always great to partner with you in this thing that we call ministry media. It's
Yeah.
always great to chat with you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Joe, and thank you for all you're doing as well. Appreciate it.